behind the screens, mental health in horror games, which is going to be so fun because I love horror games, but I hate horror movies. But without further ado, we're going to start a little bit early because we have some time. And yeah, let's get the show on the road. This panel dives into the eerie crossroads of horror and mental health. It's not a substitute for professional care, so take care of yourself first. So just a little disclaimer before we go through it all. And then this is the agenda for the day. We have some introductions and then talk about theory games, real themes in horror, the double-edged swords, safer scares, discussion, and resources. So there will be a Q&A at the end, but maybe we'll have time for like maybe 2 or 3 questions. So if you have any questions, there is a mic down in the middle there. And you can just ask away when we're ready. But yeah, let me introduce you to the lovely panel. I'm so excited for this. This is their first time, by the way, so hype them up. So first up, we got Jackie B.
Hi guys. Hey, my name is Jackie B. I'm a horror variety streamer. I play a lot of Dead by Daylight as well, which is technically a horror game, but questionably. My favorite horror game is Little Nightmares. So no spoilers on 3, please, because I've been here. So please no spoilers. But yeah. And I'm currently playing through Silent Hill 2, but the remake for the first time ever. So lots of first times this week.
Okay. And then we got Lily Pie 101.
I like to do music, I like art, I very clearly like cosplay and anime. And of course, like everybody else here on this panel, I love horror. I love horror games, TV shows, movies, you name it. I think there is something very soothing about the feeling of being scared. And my favorite horror media is the video game Silent Hill 3 with our final girl, Cheryl Mason.
Alright, up next we have...
Hi, I'm Amos for Jamie. Call me Jamie. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a variety and co-working streamer. I'm also a licensed social worker and mental health therapist. So I love talking about feelings, and I also like scary things. I actually love horror movies, and scary games scare me more. And I also co-host a horror podcast called Talking Horror, where we talk about horror movies through the lens of mental health and human behavior. And my favorite horror game, it's like a toss-up between Little Misfortune and Dredge, which I feel like are horror light, but also, you know, great stories and things like that.
Whoever wants to go next, Bunko.
Ladies first.
Okay. Hello everybody, my name is the Hello Sweetie. I go by Sweetie River Melody because yes, it is a Doctor Who reference. I do always have a disclaimer whenever you guys come into my channel, and that is I may be friendly and I may have a family, but that does not mean that we are family friendly here as we are 18 plus. But I stream a lot of horror, but now I'm dipping into a little bit of variety. I'm actually doing my first playthrough of Hollow Knight, and it is horribly. So whenever I'm about to rage quit, I actually switch over to Disney Dreamlight Valley. But my favorite horror game is Phasmophobia. I love everything about it. I've been playing it since pretty much the release. So
Did you check out the booth?
I did. I love the booth. If you guys haven't checked it out, go down to the exhibitors hall.
And last but not least,
Hi everyone, I'm the Funko Beard. I put the he and the fun and Funko, and the bear beard. You call me Funko. Pronouns are he, him. I love horror games and horror movies. I grew up with them since I was very little. I probably should have been watching them, but that was the 80s and 90s. I'm kind of aging myself. I play a lot of Dead by Daylight as well. I co-host a Survivor Challenge with my co-host Juliana, and a podcast with my co-host Tyler Gaines. My favorite horror game is Bramble, the Mountain King, and Resistance. Those games, scary as F.
awesome. And I'm Trash. I am Very bad at horror games, but that's where the content is. But my favorite horror game is also Little Nightmares. And I haven't played the third one yet, so no spoilers. Alright, let's dive right into fear in games. Got a little quote here by Alan Wake. Has anyone played the game? Fear? If I lied already, we take courage again to change the script. Alright, so kind of diving into mental health together with content and community. What made you want to explore into that mental health in horror games with your content?
I'll go first. I felt very alone and isolated when I first started streaming. I started streaming because of my husband going on deployments, and then I was home with all three of our kids, and then going back to school full time during COVID and everything. And it's so funny how the horror games actually kind of calmed me and became a comfort for me while this was happening. And being open and honest to my community about my mental health and everything was very comforting because of the simple fact that I was able to correspond both with each other and have that connection with them about like, I am feeling lonely, like, how are you guys, especially during COVID, how are you guys feeling? And then we would kind of go and be together and get scared in the game together as well.
It's such a community bonding thing. Does anyone else have anything to share with that too?
I was gonna say for myself as well, to piggyback off of it, I knew from a very young age, of course, that I had anxiety, but it was something that I kept to myself because I wasn't really sure whether or not it was a normal thing, and I didn't really want to explore it, but of course I was very far off into video games. But I found something very soothing about being able to explore and kind of navigate my anxiety and my mental health through a medium that I enjoyed. I view video games as an art form, and so because I view them as an art form, I interpret them as such with different meanings. I like exploring different themes. Of course, now that I am an adult and I have unrestricted internet access, I love going through and watching plenty of YouTube videos. I love like that meets kill count videos, etc., and exploring, you know, the different layers of horror in general in games and interpreting them. So,
Why does exposing yourself to horror impact you?
I personally feel like it makes me a little less afraid because I had discovered my anxiety from such a young age and I wasn't sure how to interpret it or what I should really do with it. I feel like video games definitely help me embrace it and realize that maybe I'm not so alone, and even though this character is fictional, they are dealing with very real things that I can relate to in real life. So maybe it's okay to explore my mental health. Maybe it will be okay in the end, and I can get the help that I need. So.
But also, it's like, I'm a queer creator as well, and growing up queer, you're terrified in your everyday life, and watching or playing a character that overcomes that really opens up your ability to resonate with that and process that coming out and not being so afraid of that your entire life, that you can use this video game or a movie or whatever as a way to show the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, like even the question on the slide here, like why does horror work? I think horror games dives into like issues and stuff very like impact. Like it's like I don't know how to explain it. It's like they're not scared of showcasing those kind of like content materials and stuff like that.
Like the darker side.
Yeah, the darker side of it is like it's very real, and that's why I love horror games as well, because the stories are so. I love the story. It's so good. It's like if you have anything to share on that as well.
No, I was just gonna say, also as somebody who has anxiety, I always joke like, oh, shocker, I have anxiety all the time in my streams, and OCD. It's like being able to have control over the things that I experience fear and anxiety around, and me choosing to like access horror games or more movies, any kind of media, is in this controlled environment as opposed to like, you know, the rest of the world that's causing me anxiety without my control. So that's something that like makes me feel safer because I'm choosing it.
Did you have
No,
anything?
I was just gonna say, it helps me process everything, like, because personally having anxiety, depression, everything, is really overwhelming. It's a great way to like Jamie said, to control what I'm feeling and process it, whether I can fully relate to the character in the game or not. It like helps me work through it, even if it's not the same, it's similar enough.
So yeah, speaking of real themes in horror games, each of the panelists is going to talk about their favorite games and the themes that they explore in the games as well. So we have Bramble, the Mountain King. So you want to talk about
That's me. Oh, hi. So Rebel Mountain King, if you are aware, it's a very heavy game. It's in Nordic folklore, and it does not shy away from putting a lot of trigger warnings out there, child endangerment, a lot of blood and gore if you know the game. So really, dealing with those trigger warnings beforehand to make sure that this environment is safe for someone who's watching it, because there's a lot of trigger stuff that can happen, and make sure your audience is safe while you're playing it. It's very important to make sure to take into account. But Grandma the Mountain King, for me, the story of this young child who is dealing with his sister missing, with just exploring everything, was very, I don't know, very trauma, dealing with stuff growing up. I have dealt with a lot of trauma growing up as well. So playing this game really helped deal with like grief and dealing with loss. There's a lot of death in this game as well. So it's helped me process a lot of grief that I've dealt with, especially as a child who lost a parent, or a child who lost their grandparents as well as a young age. Help deal with that, right? Be able to connect with this character and see how they process it and incorporate it with yourself. So that's why I wrote about it. I thought it was an amazing story, but very heavy as well.
I'm gonna check out that game. I think it's on my wish list.
It's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Am I gonna cry?
You will, okay, so you will cry. There's a moment I had to stop stream and I had to check in the chat because
Yeah.
it was very emotional.
Mm.
It's a very emotional game.
Oh.
Yeah, so.
And we have Dredge.
I know we all have experience with isolation, especially post-COVID, in a world where we had to separate and couldn't really be together. I mean, obviously there's the internet, and like friends you make on the internet are still real friends. Anyone who says otherwise, come talk to me. But that, when it comes to real life and like your immediate circle, that feeling is really hard to process, and it's really hard to face that, especially in Dredge, because you have to go out into the ocean. Spoiler, you're fishing. And like sometimes you see things, sometimes you have to like face like yourself out there as well as like what's going on around you, and it's a great way to process it personally.
Yeah, no, like the idea of just kind of like venturing out, not knowing what's out there, and like being able to kind of challenge yourself in like trusting your intuition, and you know, like I think also the idea of being scared then allows the relief that comes after that to be even more impactful. So like having those moments of calm after you're kind of going out, because then you come back and you sell your fish, so things like that. But yeah,
And there are like safe areas that
Yeah,
you
exactly.
feel safe, and you're like finally home. And finding that in real life as well is very important, not just for you but for your chat. So make sure you guys have that like safe space, not safe space, safer space where you can feel comfortable enough to like express yourself, to feel your feelings, and to talk about it.
Yeah. And then we have Silent Hill 3. I think Lily has.
So in Silent Hill 3, there are a variety of things that get explored, like navigating womanhood, but also controlling your own life, but also grief as well. And as the story develops, Cheryl Mason does deal with grief as she loses her father. And I related to it very deeply, not in the sense that I lost my father, but I did lose a very, very close friend to me. Of course, like I knew it was coming, but it was still something that you can never prepare yourself for. And it was only really this year that I've kind of like come to face that I feel like I've pulled myself out of my depression after probably 3 or so very hard years. And of course, I have a great support system, and I do have very good access to tools, like my antidepressants and therapy and whatnot. But in the game, Cheryl Mason is able to will herself out of a lot of things that she's obviously never experienced before, a lot of things that are very traumatizing and very inflicting of pain. But no matter what happens, even after the loss of one of the best supporters in her life, she still persists with everything crumbling around her. And I related to it so heavy because there were days where, again, I didn't really recognize myself in the mirror. And I know that as a human, I should care about myself. I should have different ambitions, but it got to the point where when I went out, I did not know and I did not feel any semblance of what a human should be feeling. And from that, that's when I decided I needed to make a change, and I needed to start my mental health journey there and pull myself out of it. And even though it's scary, of course it takes a lot of work. Finding the right routine and everything else is very difficult, but you still can come out strong on top with that resilience. Absolutely.
Thank you for sharing that. Sorry, my voice is dying. Going to Little Nightmares, we have, we can both go.
For those that haven't played, you're kind of playing this like very vulnerable character moving through a really disturbing, nightmarish experience, and just that sense of fear of trying to avoid the triggers or the things that you're so scared of, and then those moments of calm in between. And I think the kind of flip-flop of that also feels like you get that sense of relief when you're like, okay, I'm in my safe space, and then you're like, okay, I'm going to go out and do this thing. And also, I'm not great at games, I'm not good. And so I think there's also something to trying again, and that also helps kind of minimize the anxiety. It's when you know what the fear stimulus is, it becomes a lot less scary.
Especially because when you're doing the repetitiveness of it, when you die a lot, it's me, I die a lot. It maybe becomes a little less scary, but you also learn from your mistakes and are able to try again. And even if you fail again, it's okay to keep trying. There's no harm in trying again because we're all human, and at the end of the day, we're all just trying to get through everything, especially anxiety.
I relate to that too. It took me an hour to beat a boss on Little Nightmares, and it just starts becoming scary as well. Yeah, so I get that. Wrong one. We'll go Omori, talks about feelings of depression.
Yes, so a majority of these I actually have not played yet. I actually just mostly stick to Phasmophobia or Dead by Daylight. Don't look at me like that. But I do deal with a lot of depression, and having other games that are able to open up the theme to talk about it with your community and everything is an absolute other thing, because it's not just you going through these emotions and everything like that. It's your community as well, and being open and honest with not only them but yourself is actually a very, very, for me, life-changing thing, because there was those times where I felt like I was the only one that was having to deal with such a depressive episode that I was all like, I can't stream, I can't get out of bed today, but your community always just not only cheering you on, but letting you know, hey, if today is a day that you need a mental health day, take it, you don't have to. So it's very comforting when you make a community that understands your mental health is important as well as theirs.
We need to pet on that one. No, it's okay. Also, yeah, I get that because yeah, my community is the same. They're always like, put yourself first, stream later. Like, I'm very grateful to have a community that's very understanding.
Yes.
So yeah, fostering that community is always great.
Yeah, stream, like, put yourself first, stream will always be there, your community will always be there for you.
And your community will understand if you need a break.
Yeah.
Like they spend all the time with you, day in, day out, and they know if something is starting to feel off or whatever. Like your
Yeah.
community knows,
Yeah.
and they will always be able to support you once you take care of yourself because you know if the streamer's happy, that's happy.
Yeah, 100%. And we have The Last of Us 2, which deals with trauma.
Yeah. So, Last of Us, the world itself is about survival. And all that time about surviving, just living your life every day, trying to just make do with what you got. And so much shit, so much stuff happens, so like, there's a part in Last of Us 2 that hopefully the majority of people know that happens, something happens. If you have to, again, I won't spoil it, but I experienced that similar, not to that extent, but I was there in the hospital when my dad took his last breath as a young person. So having that trauma, witnessing that and being there, is something that I still live with every day. That playing this game, when that happened and when I saw it, like just being cathartic and able to take the moment to process what had happened in my past with it. So I think that dealing with trauma and working through it and understanding it and processing it is so helpful, and especially with the community there by your side who is also dealing with that when they're watching you play it. So I think yeah, the trauma is a big thing for that of us.
Hey, thank you everyone for sharing your stories. Because we did, we're going into the next slide, which is double-edged sword. So you guys have shared to us, you know, what you've been dealing with your lives, your personal lives, on Twitch, off Twitch. Kind of how does horror help you process real life struggles? How does exposing yourself to horror impact you? And how do you identify emotional exhaustion while streaming or playing?
Well, no, me first.
Oh, me?
Yes, you. Girl, you.
Like we were saying earlier, with horror games, especially in the media itself, you can subject yourself to it because you have absolute control in the moment. If you guys are wanting to subject yourself to something that you may think will help you process or maybe develop a better or a deeper understanding of something that you're going through, it is something that you absolutely can do. But I do enjoy the control aspect of it because any moment that it's becoming too much for me, I can just turn it off, or I can reduce the consumption rate that I am, having towards it. And I think that's something that has also helped me because even growing up with my anxiety or like depression, I was curious, I was inquisitive as an obviously younger person, but I wasn't sure how to go about it. And so when I did discover that, horror has different elements to it, and different layers, I was thinking to myself, wow, this is kind of like me. And maybe when I'm a little bit older, obviously I can do something about it. I like that. And it doesn't have to be so scary.
Have you ever had to deal with like leaving midstream or like dealing something midstream, and like how did you kind of overcome that?
Absolutely. I feel like everybody just about in their lifetime, just as a human, you have experienced like a panic attack because, you are trying to get through something, but it hits a little too hard and you do have to pull yourself out of that situation. And again, like Funko was talking about, the stream can always wait, especially when you've developed, a very understanding community. I'm very open about my mental health with my community. And sometimes I'll just tell them, hey, pals, I'm not really having a good day today, like whether it's something that happened on stream or off stream. I think being open about it and developing those connections too is a very powerful resource, And I think it's okay to not be okay, but it always helps, to let somebody know, hey, I'm not doing okay today, guys. I do enjoy that.
Open communication is always good. So you have anything to add to that?
I actually do. So it's kind of like I was playing Karma: The Dark World, and there was a moment where one of the flashbacks just kind of triggered me emotionally, and I was about to cry, and I was all like, I'm not crying on stream right now. I was like, I'm not doing that. So I went on to Be Right Back, and I gathered my emotions and everything off camera, and I came back, and I was all like, this game right now is not for me. I was like, I will probably come back at a later date or play it off stream, so I know where it's going to go, and then I will maybe come back to it. I was like, but for right now, we are gonna cut it off right here. I was like, maybe we'll hop into Disney Dreamlight Valley or, you know, another cozy game, calm myself down, and maybe switch up the vibes a little bit, put on some lo-fi music, you know, make sure that everybody is feeling comfortable, because there's a lot of triggers in a lot of different games, and I want to make sure that not only am I comfortable, but so is everybody else.
Which goes to the next question of how do you communicate those boundaries of like triggering content to your community, or like to the new people coming to your stream, and yeah.
I usually have the pinned feature that is like kind of semi-new, not really anymore, but I'm old, so. That has been a lifesaver, because I will just pin, hey, this game has trigger warnings, if you want specifics, here's the website, like, did the dog die, or like, other similar websites that'll be like, this game has trigger warnings, here are what they are. If you want more specifics, look at this spoiler. And, I know when I play most of the Charizard games, if you guys are familiar with Japanese horror, a lot of them have a lot of triggers, a lot of things that you will need to take a break from, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But as long as you like have a command, thing, anything that's super helpful when people come in, and if someone asks, hey, what's this? Oh, this is this game. If you do exclamation point, TW for trigger warning. You can see if you can watch it, because I don't want to trigger anyone. And I think that's just a really thoughtful thing to do. And then after you're like,
Sorry. I'm always early. So how do you think the genre of horror games, like how do you do it as a coping mechanism for you?
I mean, I think that part of it is learning more about yourself, again, like in a controlled way. You know, I think self-awareness and like insight is so invaluable, and you know, sometimes I think that like we are aware of our triggers, sometimes we're not. And so, you know, with the support of the community and like learning more about yourself in that way, I feel like can really help you just like deepen your understanding of yourself and maybe access more support outside of that. Therapy, everyone should be in therapy. But being able to, like develop those coping skills and things like that, so that you can prepare yourself for like potential future situations.
Another thing that I have to add, growing up, I was also very much so into psychology. Like, I did a lot of studying on like Noam Chomsky, who's like really into psychology, very famous for it. I enjoy the psychology behind being scared, and one thing that I've been doing recently, as a kid, I would like, this is so silly, but I would sneak into my mom's closet, and at the very, very top, that's where she like hid certain movies. One of them was Tim Curry's It, like Pennywise. And so one day I decided to watch the movie, and one of the opening scenes where he's underneath the store or whatever, it scared the absolute crap out of me as a kid. I knew I should not have done it, but I did the same thing again when I snuck into the Netflix account and I watched A Nightmare on Elm Street. Oh my god, it was the original one from the 90s, and it destroyed me. It was very silly, but I was so inquisitive. I was like, oh my god, these are the things that we're not supposed to be watching, and she warned me about it, but I did it anyways. But as an adult now, I've been going back and watching those movies, and I enjoy kind of like what directors and some of the film producers do. Like, you realize and you kind of debunk a little bit, you know, of what some of those scary movies are like, the intent and the goal is to scare you, you know, it is to be unsettling. And so when I was rewatching some of the movies as an adult and breaking them down, I'm like, it's actually not so bad, and it kind of is just in my head, you know? Like sometimes it's like, oh, that's a little silly, you know?
They're
And
like comfort movies now.
yeah, they are comfort movies. Again, like last week, I decided to go ahead and rewatch A Nightmare on Elm Street, and I was like, that actually wasn't so bad. It's actually a little silly. I do. He's very sassy in the movies too.
It's funny because I did a similar thing with Halloween. I recently watched it and I didn't notice before, but every time Michael Myers is on the screen, the music starts. And I thought it was just, they're just building it up for the next scene. No, it's because he's there somewhere. Like, where's Waldo? Where's Michael Myers? And when you music.
I also love, I feel like that's a very underrated element. I feel like a lot of people always think horror is always in your face. Horror does not always have to be on the nose. Sometimes it's like the thrill and the suspense and the build up to it. And that atmosphere that really gets you. I love that part of it. That's probably one of my favorite parts about horror.
Like the tension build.
Yes, that tension. I love that.
Score is very important, especially in horror games too.
Yeah.
Those who think Dead by Daylight, every killer has their own terrorist. Like, you know who they are.
I was literally about to say, because in Phasmophobia, nothing actually like is horror until you step into the house. Once you step into the house, everything is eerie. It's so quiet. Everything is like, okay, a ghost is gonna attack me any second, and it's wild because it's once you step in.
Or like the music box.
One last thing though that I have to say, I did it on stream, and it's probably the silliest thing I've done. Dude, Alien Isolation is listen, it is a 2015 game, but I don't know how they have an AI that detects how like your character, like it develops like a knowledge over your patterns in the game. And so every single time I think, I'm gonna be slick and I'm gonna get away with this. Absolutely not. I have literally never tabbed out or like pressed the escape button so quick in my life. And then I would just start talking on stream and they're like, Lily, you're literally avoiding playing this game. I'm like, no, I just need a minute, okay? I just need a minute, please.
That is the correct response though.
One of the scariest games I've ever played. If you guys have not played Alien Isolation before, so good,
It's
please.
in my do not play list.
I tried playing Alien Isolation, but I couldn't get into it. I don't know why.
Wait, was it because of the scare stuff?
I think it's because I just kept getting lost, so then I got. That's like me. It's like playing horror, and then I'm like so lost. I'm like, okay, I'm just bored now. And I feel so bad because like, everyone's like, it's such a good game. But yeah.
Directionally challenged.
Yeah, that's just me. But yeah, the escape button is my best friend during the game. Absolutely. Just go into safer scares, just talks about like strategies that you use or like tools that you use or practices that you implement in your content. You really love that.
I forget my name.
Yeah. So yeah, I think each honesty has a strategy that I'd like to share. I wasn't sure. Never mind. Yeah. So like stream deck strategies, I think Lily had a strategy that you
Actually,
shared.
I do. So in Dead by Daylight, unfortunately, this has been more of a newer thing. People call it WSM because it's what you would press on the keyboard, but it's supposed to simulate humping. Now, although I don't mind it personally, I know there are very much so members of my community that do not enjoy it. So I just have a button where I can just turn off the screen for the game, and then I just go full screen on my webcam. We'll just have a bit of a chat, you know, I can still see the game on the other monitor, but I just don't want to have my community exposed to something that would make them uncomfortable, because even if it's not something that would directly affect me, I don't want anybody in my community to feel uncomfortable. That's not what my community is about, and it does not take much to accommodate that either. I feel like that's something that a lot of people don't necessarily think about, is the accommodation, because although it may be small for you, it means the world to somebody else.
I never thought about that, using a stream deck to just shut it down, so that's pretty smart.
Well, you don't need a stream deck anymore.
Oh.
It has a mobile app that you can use now.
Yes.
True.
Yeah.
Hello.
Community sources, let's go.
Yeah. Not partnered yet.
Funko, do you have any tools and strategies that you use? Or like, when stream?
Oh, I use a timer a lot for any trigger warnings or anything, so that way, if I'm collaborating with someone and I have the pin already like occupied in some way, I make sure that there's always a timer and a command, so that way if someone new comes in and I don't have a mod available, there will be a timer just to let people know what to expect while watching the stream in case there's anything that might trigger them in a way. So just to make sure that they feel safe and comfortable while I'm playing a horror game.
Yeah. It's fair. Yeah, because horror games can be very in your face or very gory, which it's not everyone's cup of tea. Like it's very important. Jamie, do you have?
Yeah, I think, you know, in addition to all of that, like I've seen streamers use safe words for their community, and like if somebody's feeling uncomfortable, being able to, you know, like again, not everybody is going to feel super comfortable or super safe, but if you can make it as accommodating as possible, so that people feel included, and like however you're able to navigate that, so that people have the autonomy to tell you as the content creator, like, hey, this is something that's, you know, disturbing to me.
What's everyone's safe word?
I just default to banana in my chat.
Banana.
Mine is tamales, because I'm hungry.
Do you have a safe word for your channel?
No, but I'm gonna use some of these now. I was gonna say maybe beer, but that might be too complicated every time.
Give me a fruit. Yeah. And then Jackie, do you have some community safety tools that you use?
Yeah, well, on my stream deck, this is like, because I have one, but when I didn't, I used my phone app, and I have a button, I call it DEFCON 5 and DEFCON 1, and it's when it's something that I would find like very triggering or scary, or like, guys, I'm warning you, I'm going to be pausing a lot, because I'm scared, and I need to breathe. It'll give a warning, and then the other one is, this isn't that scary, but if you need to take a break, you do not have to be here. My stream is very lurker friendly, very, if you wanna be here, awesome. If you cannot, put yourself first always. And like I said, I pin messages and trigger warnings, have a command for trigger warning and for content warning, which in my head, they go hand in hand, but they usually link to the same message.
Sweetie.
I have a command that warns everybody about what's happening in the game, and then whenever somebody new or somebody is coming from a different genre of games and they're raiding into me, after I do my whole elevator pitch to them, I do say, after this raid video, we are going into this game, but it has this and this and this. If you are not comfortable with it, please feel free to lurk, or, you know, close out the tab entirely. It's up to you. I'm not gonna get offended. Just put yourself first, and then, you know, and then I go into everything else.
Play your horror game.
Yeah.
We do have a Q&A session after this, so if anyone would like to take the mic or ask some questions, the mic is just in the middle here. So if anyone has any questions, yes. Start running. Yeah, just I guess questions about mental health in horror games, or just horror games in general, or with Twitch tools and stuff like that. Yeah, feel free to hop onto the mic first.
Hello.
Hi.
Big shout out to Sweetie and Jackie.
Oh my god.
So as somebody that is a self-proclaimed lady, when it comes to horror games, do you have any advice of like how to maybe dip your toe into that genre, like playing offline or anything? Like not jumping straight into the massage, maybe, but
Definitely not Alien Isolation first.
Okay, I was gonna say, probably start doing some co-op horror games. That way you have a buddy with you, and if something does get scary, at least you have somebody there with you already to be able to immediately connect with, and you're all like, oh, okay, I can't go into the house, or I can't run a loop a killer or anything like that. Like, a buddy system is wonderfully
It doesn't even have to be co-op. I did a couple of streams with my my friend Tyler over there, and he streamed a scary game, and I was literally just by the side because I had played it before, and just so like talk like if you had questions while playing on stream, I was there and just helping out just in case because it be the toes in the scary game because of More Truth Assistant. So you know More Truth Assistant.
Oh my
Okay, to be put in. So I was there and I love that. That's one of my favorite games. I was just there for support while we were streaming and talking to chat and vibing and hanging out. So, but still being scary. But you know, so yeah, exactly like Sweetie said, having someone to play with you as well is so helpful.
There is no shame in like stopping a game that's like too much. I mean, I'm chronically never finishing a game anyway, but there is no, like if something, yeah, let's go. But yeah, if something is too much, like again, you have to take care of yourself first, and if something is like, you know, just very overwhelming or triggering, like there's nothing wrong with being like, I don't think this one's for me. You know?
But also being an escape key warrior as well. That's my number one thing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello.
Okay, so my question is, was there a boss in any of the horror games that was your favorite, your least favorite, and the one that like impacted you the most?
The bad guy in the karaoke, from Chilazar, hate him.
Yeah.
Not because like hard, but because it is very real and a very real thing that can happen, and that is scary in and of itself.
I will say that a lot of Chilla's, I like playing Chilla's art, I like Chilla's art, but majority of their games is like something that can happen in every game.
Yeah.
Which makes it like more intense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that there was a game like Resident Evil where you first experience the liquors, jumping out the window, looking down on me, more than that creature boss that you first experience in the mansion. So that's probably my favorite because I love the design. I love Resident Evil series. I'm a big fan. But that experience, the first original game that first came out in the 90s, first of all, that was something that was not ever done before, really, before that. So the first Resident Evil game back in the 90s, that was scary. That was terrifying, and it still sticks with me to this day.
I also have Officer Coral from the Outlast Trials. When I was like, when I was a baby playing Outlast Trials with my friends, like Officer Coyle's like yelling like all sorts of obscene profanities.
Yeah.
He's got like a little taser or whatever that takes away one of your abilities, and I'm like, okay, dude, I literally just like spawned into this map.
Yeah.
Like you also have to use little night vision goggles too in Outlast Trials, and so I'm trying to just like navigate, and it's like, okay, hey man, you need to chill out, you know? And like, of course, I did not quit the game, but I definitely did spend a good majority of the missions and the trials just hiding in the corner while my friend did all
Funny system.
I'm just hiding in the barrel, and then I peek out like, is it okay? I don't know.
Get a friend like that, guys.
Phasma. I'm a truck man on Phasmophobia. I hang out in a truck.
Yes.
Did you guys have any favorite, least favorites?
I mean, all of them are terrifying. I hate them all. I think, like, without spoiling, but like the end of Dredge, I think is like one of my favorite endings in the game. Again, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but like it was just very impactful and like shocking, but in like a very like positive, cathartic way. So that's definitely a favorite.
Wait, I have one more too. Nemesis from the Resident Evil 3 remake.
Oh, yeah.
I remember one of my moms was like really into the game, and she was like, "Oh, you're gonna love this part." And I was like, "I mean, it's like we're really chill. Like we're going on top of the roof or whatever." I was like, "Yeah, Jill's gonna climb the ladder. She's gonna get like the rocket launcher, and then boom, Nemesis is gonna be gone." Why do people like full like grab her face and?
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh." I literally just had to escape, and then I had to like go pee, and then I had to come back and go, "Okay." I had to go take a breather.
Damn it, Carlos, can you help me, please?
Oh my god.
Do something.
But like him also like at the very start of the game, like flinging her through an entire brick wall. Like I mean, okay,
Yeah.
sure, what the hell? Sure.
I'm kind of going through that, but with Village, I'm doing with Mother Miranda, right?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Good luck.
I feel that.
Did you have?
Thank you.
I mostly stick to Fountain.
And
now Rico.
This revenant.
All right.
That's right, Rico.
Next up.
Dude.
Hi, I was just wondering, what is it that y'all like about horror? Like, what is a thing that you really like about horror as a genre? I guess also within video games as well.
I like that it helps me escape in real life, my very real anxiety. Like, I will come off work, and personally, work is very stressful. Especially when you have clients, they're just very needy. Like 2-year-olds, the worst. And being able to like get rid of like my anxiety, my depression, all my big feelings that are kind of taking over my little 5'1" body. It's a great way to like take all of those big feelings and put it towards something else that I feel I can be productive in. Like when I go into Silent Hill 2 and I'm trying to spray the very scary bugs because I don't like bugs, I'm like, bug spray. And so then I can do something about that. But in real life, you can always do something about that immediately. So
I really enjoy the creativity, especially practical effects in horror movies. I'm not very big on like body horror, but I did recently rewatch some of my favorite movies. Like for example, Smile 2. I think it's like a fantastic film. But the way they did the Smile monster and like the creativity and like all the layering and like the practical effects is so sickening. But there was also The Substance is a really good one.
Oh, yeah,
It was
yeah.
a great movie, and the way that they did, what is it? The Sue monster towards the end. I don't want to spoil it too much, but God, it was very in depth. It was very detailed, and I love going through and watching the creativity in the process, because some of them also have a deeper meaning to it, like some of the monsters themselves, and I love watching breakdowns and like analyzing that kind of stuff and how the producers and creators came up with those ideas. I think it's a very underrated part of some horror movies. Like the practical effects go very nutty, and it's a real talent to do that kind of stuff. It's really cool.
I have like a list of horror movies to watch by the end of 2025. My friend has recommended me because I'm like, I cannot watch horror, so they challenged me to watch horror films. So there's some on the list.
Yeah, however long I can remember, I've watched horror movies even when I was a kid, and I wasn't supposed to, but I did. But I always related to like the final girl. Like I was growing up queer, scared of like my shadow walking around. It wasn't much of a person who would have friends growing up. I was very quiet, surprisingly. And I would always be able to go watch these horror movies, and because I would see these final girls escape and have a happy ending of some sort, dealing with trauma, of course, I always like hope that could be me someday, right? And then when it came out, like I even loved horror so much because it helped me through that process. So horror was always a big part of my life, just most of I can remember.
Thank you, these guys.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for doing this, by the way. This is so great.
Thanks.
A little bit, you guys have touched on this a little bit. Your first foray into horror movies. Mine was also famous. When I was 8 years old, my cousins made me watch it at the summer party, and Tim Curry was a little bit too good. But for video games, my first memory is really making my older brother play the first Resident Evil game.
Yes.
I couldn't do it myself. But I'm wondering for any of you what your first horror game might have been, or your first horror game memory that kind of sticks with you, that kind of led you into continuing that story.
Mine was also Resident Evil, the first one. I would play with my brother, and we had just gotten the PlayStation, and it just came out. No idea, no one knew what the PlayStation was at the time. You had to go to Blockbuster to rent it. Blockbuster. And so we saw the cover, and it didn't look like a scary game. It was just like a military dude, and we thought it was just like a shoot-up game, whatever. Put it in, was the most scariest things we had ever experienced, age 13 or whatever. And me and my brother stayed in all weekend, and that was like that brought us together as well. Family Dice game was just one of the best things I remember playing with. And it's scary.
No, you first. I got too much.
No, you're fine. Actually, I barely started playing horror when I started streaming. So Phasmophobia was my first horror game, and I was an absolute scaredy cat to even go into the house. Like, I was like, I'm gonna be the band princess. Do not ask me to go in there. And then if I have to go in there, I need my buddy with me. Please stay in the house. And now I can do solo runs on Nightmare, and it's no biggie to me, and it's crazy because of the simple fact that
I still cannot.
me too. Just take a buddy, you'll be fine.
You have to carry your speaker. I've never played.
Oh yes, absolutely.
It's so fun. But you're in the truck.
Yeah, I just prestiged again, so I'm like prestige 8 now. Jackie.
Oh, I was gonna say not my earliest, but I think my favorite memory was with my brother in high school when he was in high school. I was in middle school. He's older, obviously. Sorry. He would be playing COD and he got Black Ops and they had that like zombie mode. And he would be like, you can't be here. Dad said you're too young to watch. And I was like, okay. So I sneak around the corner on the stairs, like the annoying little sister that I am, and I'd look and I'd be like, what's that? And then I just watch, and then I'd get nightmares and my dad would yell at him and not me. That's another story.
One of my, oh, sorry.
No.
One of my earliest horror memories was when I got gifted the new Xbox One around 2015, and I remember there was this game, Evil Within, and I was like, wow, I really want to try this. This is so cool. And I was downstairs in my dad's like man cave area. My dad had like a little home theater on one side, and then for me it was like my video games on like this like little flat screen or whatever. And I was like, oh my god, this is such a treat. I'm on winter break. I'm gonna boot up this game finally, right? Now that Christmas has passed, and I want to try it out. Oh my god. I'm not gonna lie, my fear was so bad. Like I would try to like hide in the locker or whatever, and like the big dude would run by, and I'd be like, okay, it's fine. He always found me, okay. And then I was like, okay, well maybe I'm gonna try hiding underneath one of the gurneys. Okay, he always found me. And it got to the point where like my anxiety was so bad, legitimately, I would just like do in my Xbox 360 like little power button. I would just turn it off because I was so scared. I was so scared. I was trying so hard not to scream either because it was really late at night. And I'm all the way in the basement. And if my dad hears me yell, my dad's gonna be like, what the hell is going on? But I would just like, like the Xbox would just turn off. That's it. And then I actually put the disc back into the case and I actually just hid it from myself. I was like, what was I thinking? Like, I just wasted my allowance on this. I'm never gonna play it again. And on top of that, like, I can't beat it. And like, I tried looking up guys and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? You know what? It's fine. It's cool. I don't even want to play it anymore. I'm fine. Like, I don't even want to touch it anymore. I'm good.
It's back on the top shelf.
Have you tried it since?
Okay, I saw it and I did buy it, and I'm not saying that I'm avoiding it, but I did tell my community that, well, okay, maybe we'll do some horror games and stuff on stream, but again, they're gonna like flame me because again, I'm an escape warrior. I'm gonna press it and I'm gonna be like, so guys, what are you doing tonight? Like, oh my god, like what's for dinner? And they're like, really, just play the damn game. Okay, but we'll counterpoint. I'm scared actually, so maybe not.
I get that. I try to stall as much as I can before I start. Jamie, do you have it?
I mean, this might not necessarily be a horror game per se, and I also feel like I'm really dating myself, but I remember being a kid going to my friend's house and watching her and her brother play Mortal Kombat and being horrified. Yeah, so that was, yeah.
Thank you.
We might have time for maybe 2 more questions. Sorry.
Hello.
Oh,
Hi.
okay.
My name is Tyler. Games and I put the games, I guess. So, my question is, who would you marry, kill, and have a one-night stand with in any horror game?
Wow.
Oh, did you say horror movie?
Horror game.
A horror game?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, just because 1, 2, 3, like 3 characters.
Wait, can I say one F word? Just one?
Yeah.
Some of you are not real monster fuckers. I am.
Yes.
William Burton from Resident Evil. Would. Would. Sorry, I have to. But I feel like I would definitely marry William Burton, even final form, I don't care. Nemesis, F. Kill. Oh my god.
Wesker.
You're too hasty now. How can I say that? Hold on.
I mean, Wesker is.
What is, oh my god, his name in Resident Evil 5, he's really, Irvin in Resident Evil 5, he's really annoying.
Yes,
He can go, Yeah, there we go, but William Birkin.
Okay, my F is Blight from Dead by Daylight. He's my hear me out. Mary is Wesker. I'm not sorry. And then what was the other one? Kill?
Kill, who would kill it?
He's not a bad guy though, but I would say James Sunderland. I'm sorry.
What do you mean?
Sweetie.
Oh, God. What was the first one?
F, Mary, Kill.
Okay.
Okay.
FMK.
Ooh, probably, okay, so Huntress.
Okay.
Mary Wesker, I'm not even sorry about that. And then I probably, I'm sorry, Blight has gotta go.
Do I have to answer this one too?
Yeah.
And Lady D from Resident Evil. Pyramid Head, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, he scares the shit out of me. And marry, who would I marry? I don't know. I want to, maybe Huntress, actually. Yeah. Sorry, Pyramid Head lovers. Thank you for your question. I have time for one more. Sorry. We're running out of time. Thank you.
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry not to give away my question.
Oh my God.
Therapy has come up several times during this conversation. Jamie actually is the reason I started therapy 1 week before the worst year of my life began. So thank you. Helped me survive it. What advice, I guess kind of a two-part question, what advice would you have for someone who's thinking about getting into therapy, like how to find an effective therapist and get therapy that will actually help them? And two, for those who maybe think therapy isn't for them, what are the reasons that you specifically have said to yourselves and in your life that this was so worth it?
I actually, to answer your first question, I have been to multiple therapists, not just because my husband's military, so we have obviously had to move around. So I've had to find therapists that I feel comfortable with. And there have been times where I'll go to a therapist 2 or 3 sessions and then I'll we're not really clicking and everything like that. And so I'll go and I'll try and find somewhere else who can actually understand my vibe, I guess, better and everything, because to me it's important that I have a therapist who's more open and upfront with me and is able to give me what I need when it comes to my sessions and everything like that. So honestly, looking around in your local area, absolutely searching for people who specialize in what you're wanting and everything like that is when it comes to your sessions.
I will say I found my therapist online, like on one of those like websites like BetterHelp or like Sondermind or whatever. And like they have like these cool little tags that are like, oh, she's like Latina, she's gay. I'm like, hell yeah. Like all these other things. And I got really lucky this time because I just moved to a new state and I had to get a new therapist because the other one was like, I only serve Texas, and I was like, dang it. But I found a really good one first try, and I was like, this is the first time this has ever happened. But definitely look online too, because like the therapists that are on BetterHelp and Sondermind aren't bad, and you just have to find the one that vibes with you, clicks with you. And if it doesn't click, feel free to tell them, because there's nothing wrong with that. You're not gonna vibe with everyone. You're not gonna, especially therapists. Okay, they all have their own like way to do things. So definitely.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Because I also, like Jamie, I work in mental health as well as my day job. And the therapists work for you. Like they're there for you. So if they're not giving you what you need, you can totally find someone else or ask to speak to someone else. Take charge. It's your journey into your mental health. Put yourself first. It's very important. And if you're not getting what you need from this therapy, definitely find other resources as well. Within like a clinic, if you're going to a clinic or so, there are other resources there as well. And utilize it if you can.
I was gonna say, also, to piggyback off of what Jack was saying, a lot of people seem to forget that intersectionality is also a very big thing for therapy. You know, my therapist was a white woman, but she still understood, like, you know, the fact that I'm a black woman, and so I may deal with misogyny, but there's also misogynoir, which is very different and is very present in the medical industry for me as a black woman. But it's also the fact that she understood that I was queer as well, and so she understood the struggles, even if she did not identify with, obviously, those categories. She still understood and took precaution when she was giving me solutions. And for those of you that think that you don't need therapy, you probably do. It does not matter how good of a place you feel like you are in life. There are certain coping mechanisms, there are like self-soothing techniques and whatnot, where even if you don't need it right now, it is probably something you will need in the future. But you can also help a friend out that may be dealing with anxiety, depression, you know, and other things that are like that. But it never hurts to go, and even if you don't go, you know, every week, you can still go once a month, or maybe like once every other month and whatnot. It's also good to just let somebody know that, again, you're not doing too well, and you don't have to be doing too well all the time, but it helps to let a friend know that, hey, I'm struggling, but I don't want to be alone with it. You should never be alone with it.
Never suffer in silence. There are resources, there are people who care, who care about you, who want to see you succeed. Don't be afraid to share your story to someone.
There are other people out there that are literally just like you.
Literally, you're not alone.
Never.
Which is a great statement because Jackie B has collected this QR code here, which kind of has so many resources that you can use. Jackie B, thank you. So if you would like to use check QR code, just have a look and see what's out there. That will help you out as well.
The stickers are on your seats. If you
Have
don't
the
have
QR.
one, they also have the QR code.
Yes.
Yeah, we're running out of time, but everyone, thank you so much for being here.
So, if you want to see quick vlogs,
Outros of where we can find you.
twitch.tv/tracktv.
You can find me anywhere at the Hello Sweetie. So.
I'm everywhere online, Lily Private 101. Just please, God, spell it correctly. Everybody always spells it wrong. I know it's a lot of L's. Lillipie 101 everywhere.
One E.
One E. One. Thank you.
Emo Sport Jamie, everywhere.
The Funko Beard everywhere.
And I am Trash, and I will see you around.